okay? She was overweight. She was African American. She was not a well-educated individual. And she was turned down not once, not twice, but 3 times for anchor jobs. Today, she owns one of the biggest networks in television, okay? Again, it wasn't all of a sudden. She wasn't successful the first time, or the second, or the third, for that matter. He was fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination, and he had no original ideas. Who said Walt Disney? You got it. That was Walt Disney. Okay? So, if you think of an empire, and this man has built an empire, not a business, he was fired. Okay? So, that gives you an idea. Again, don't believe what everybody else says. Believe in yourself, first and foremost. Number 3.
Sorry, do you mind if I add a comment to that? My sister was told when we first came to Canada that she has attention deficit disorder.
ADHD.
Yeah. And actually she didn't even know what that was. And I was certain she did not have that.
Okay. I can speak somewhat as an expert on the subject. Okay,
And
I'll give you.
supposedly a professional at university told her that.
Okay. Attention deficit disorder is nowadays qualified as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, also known as ADHD. A lot of kids are diagnosed with that. Okay? ADHD shows itself in many different ways. It shows itself through hyperactivity, inattentivity, and in a lot of girls' cases, it goes undiagnosed for years. Only 12% of girls are diagnosed with ADHD for one reason, because they don't suffer from hyperactivity. They suffer from inattentivity. Does your sister have a tendency to daydream? When she was little and in school and in class, did she look out the window and sometimes not hear the teacher?
Not that I know of. I do that sometimes.
We're all a little guilty.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way. There is no such thing as normal.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a fallacy. It doesn't exist. If you think of a line from infinite negative to infinite positive, we're all somewhere in here. Okay? That's all it is. A label is just a label. It doesn't mean anything. The only difference is that someone with ADHD has a tendency to not pick up on social cues. And what I mean by that is, for instance, at a very young age, when the younger, the more so they feel that, the older, the less they feel that, they don't pick up social cues. And what I mean by, if somebody's talking to her and all of a sudden they do this, does she know what does that mean?
Oh yeah.
She knows.
She has been able to learn English within 1 year. She was able to communicate in English after 1 year.
Let me
So
say this. ADHD kids are highly intelligent. Most of them qualify in the gifted spectrum. So that means that they're more intelligent than 98% of the population.
I have 2 students. So I
Okay.
have 2.
So
They're very
ADHD
intelligent.
has nothing to do with the level of intelligence. On the contrary, ADHD children are highly, highly, highly intelligent. They have what is called a nonverbal learning disability. They have a tendency to not pick up social cues, tones of voices, for instance. I'll give you an example. A child with ADHD most of the times has peers, and one of them will come and go, "Hey buddy, good job." And then the other one comes and goes, "Good job." For that kid, those 2 things mean the exact same thing. They both use the same words. They're the same when they're not. One really means good job. The other one's calling him a moron. and it's just a tone of voice, right? That's where the non-verbal learning disability comes into play. But I'm digressing from this. So at the end, I will come to you and I will help you, and there's actually somebody here that can possibly help you with that too, because there are programs available for young adults, children and young adults in Canada to help with that. Okay? So, inspiration story number 3.
Maybe what I was trying to say is that maybe I think that person was entirely wrong. So people can say you things, and that may not be it. Just like what happened.
If that
with-
person
yeah.
was not a doctor, very possibly.
No, that person
So-
was not a doctor. That person was a professional at the university.
So, who knows? But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
inspiration number 3. Albert Einstein, everybody knows this name. It equates to genius, right? He could not speak until the age of 4. His teacher told him he would never amount to much. And by the way, he failed math 2 years in a row. Okay? Now, it's hard to imagine. Nowadays, we look back and we go, he was a genius. Yes, but as a developing child, nobody knew that. So there are a lot of cases out there. There's 2 more that I just want to share with you just because I love them. So, number 4. They were rejected by Decca Recordings because they sounded terrible and they had no future in show business. You got it. The Beatles, the biggest band of all times. They still sell out today every time they put out a record. I should know, I have a husband at home that owns everything ever printed by the Beatles. Last but not least, and this is probably one of my favorites and one that I tell the kids. He was cut from his high school team 3 times. And he was told to give up many times. Michael Jordan. To this day, he will tell you exactly what's written there. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I was trusted to take the game to the winning shot and missed. Okay? I failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. Please remember that. Just because you get turned down the first time doesn't mean you should give up. Okay? So, learn from your mistakes. Try and try again. If you fall down 7 times, get up 8. And like the frog, never give up. Okay, Service Ontario. And I know that Tabasum has sent out a bit of information on this. But just so you know, Service Ontario webpage, and this will be distributed to everybody who left an email address, can give you information on types of corporation, how to incorporate a business, the consent and act as first directors, whether you should incorporate as a non-for-profit organization or for-profit organization. How do you act if you're a corporation outside of Canada and want to come into Canada? So all sorts of information are in there. Highly, highly, highly effective. I suggest everybody go look. But last but not least, the power of words is significant. So use your words wisely when you put your business plan together. I love this because I want you to read what it says on the on the sign there. Can everybody read?
Yeah, I'm reading
Okay.
this all.
So it's a very, very short video. It's only a few seconds. I don't know if everybody can hear.
What did you do to the sign?
So he's asking her, what did you do to my sign? She said, I just wrote the same, but used different words. Words matter. Okay? And I cannot emphasize this enough. So, whenever you do a business proposal of any kind, please make sure you use the right words. Always have somebody double check your work. Get feedback. Make sure that you get somebody else to review it with you. Okay? Find an entrepreneur, find a mentor, find someone who's been in business for a while. Get their advice. Okay? Know your business well is the first thing that I would say. But 5 tips to succeed. Create an ingenious product or service. Something that hasn't been done before, or is environmentally friendly, or will have people on your side. It has a social cause to it. Like the ladies who started the first bag made out of the couch fabric. I love that. Leverage on social media. You have a great mentor for that. She is an ace. She can do better than I can or ever could. Build a community around you. And most of you already have that. If you don't, I highly suggest to socialize, integrate, build a social network. Okay? Devise a publicity. Attention coverage. Sometimes going to your local newspaper is a great idea. They don't charge to come and see you. If they like your story, they will publish it. Your community will know about you. Your local newspaper gets distributed free. Guess what? It's free publicity. Okay? Know your strengths, stay focused. And you need an elevator pitch. Does anybody know what an elevator pitch is? Awesome. I don't need to go through that. So, what I say usually on my elevator pitch is that, so I don't need to go through this, you have between 30 to 50 seconds to say your elevator pitch, okay? So, in your elevator pitch, there should be 4 key points, if you don't have these down pat. Let's say you have your business, you've established your business. 4 key points. Identify your goal. Explain what you do. Communicate your USP, not UPS, USP. Your unique selling proposition, okay? And engage with a question. You put it all together and you practice. And what I mean by practice is that it shouldn't come out as monotonous. It should come out as just a natural thing of who you are. So my company develops mobile applications that businesses use to train their staff remotely. So this means that senior managers can spend time on other important things. Point number 2. 3, unlike other similar companies, we visit each organization to find out exactly what their people need. This means that on average, 95% of our clients are happy with the first version of the app. You just did your unique selling proposition. So, what does your organization do to train their people? You've now engaged the person that came to you. And from this on, you've created an elevator pitch. Took me less than 30 seconds to read that. That's what you need to do for your business. Everybody you encounter, when they ask you, so what do you do? Elevator pitch, okay? Doesn't matter what it is, have it ready. That's your selling point. That's how people are going to believe in you, look you up. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't like Twitter, but you can use Twitter. Whatever you want. So, all in all, this is how I would suggest you build a program. If you want more information, my business card's here. My information is there. Feel free to ask. Any questions? I'm available.
I have a question, like for the proposal, if we want to write the proposal, so you can help us out, or we?
Yes.
Yeah, because this is a very, like overwhelming. So it's not easy. Listening is very easy, but doing is very hard.
I have to say, if you're going to put a business proposal together,
Yeah.
give yourself a good 3 months time.
Yeah.
And why I say 3 months time is this.
Take 6 months, doesn't matter, but it should be okay.
But 3 months is usually minimum,
Yeah.
and for two reasons. One is you want to have it, first of all, done in bullet point, so you know your ideas, okay, all by bullet points. Then you put it all together. Then you format it. Then you have to look at financials, right? And that's where, sorry, not me. Okay, I'm going to have to ask you to go to someone who does that with you. And then we're going to put that together. Then we're going to look at the executive summary. And then we're going to review it at the end. And we're going to review it as if we were judging that application. So the whole process, at minimum, will take you a good 90 days to complete. Okay, because you're looking at various things that you have to do. And there's a lot of research involved. So you will have to research whatever business you're going to undertake. You're going to have to research the data for that business. You're going to have to research how you're going to start your business, where you're going to start. Is it going to be a physical location? Are you going to have an office? Are you going to work from home? Where's your target customer or your target audience? So there's a lot of things to take into account.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I have like a big enough experience of my business, which I lost it like back in the days. So I just want to start it again, but you know, like starting again is very hard. So
Yes.
once you're young, you can do very easily things, right?
We're
So
always
but
young.
now-
What are you talking about?
Yes, but the thing is, it's like we need to start from somewhere, which is like from your own pocket is more easier because when you have enough amount of money, so you can do it, right? So once you go through this kind of situations, so then it takes time. A lot of ideas in my brain is going here and